everyone, welcome to your Moon in Gemini reading. We're going to be taking a look at the collective energies for you guys as this moon transits the sign of Gemini. And the dates, let me actually double check those dates. It's going to be transiting from July 13th to July 15th, but you guys know what this is. This is all about energy. So yeah, dates are really not important, so you don't have to be watching during that date range, and you don't have to be watching at the time that this video is made. If it finds its way to you, chances are there's something in there for you. All right, I do want to point out as I'm starting the reading now, I'm seeing these cute little cute little cups right here, and all I'm getting is lessons learned. So I'm getting that during this time, and of course a little bit before and as well as afterward, during this time there are quite a few lessons. I don't want to say lessons resurfacing, so to speak, to be experienced again, but I'm just seeing rather they're lessons learned and seeing you tick them off the box. So, and then let's just keep these two cards. What are they? Page of Swords and Ten of Swords. This is kind of just the statement just I'm hearing is, oh, so you thought this, let me see if I can say a little better. So you thought this was over? Oh, okay. Yeah, that works too. Oh, so you thought this was over, but it's more like, oh, so you thought you were finished? Like a task. Oh, so you thought you were complete with this task? So in case some of you guys didn't know, when I read the energies, I'm reading the energies, and so I'm reading the frequencies. So we say channeling, but the way it works for me is I guess the closest is I'm an interpreter. So sometimes when the frequencies come in, or as I'm channeling and as I'm speaking, I'm just putting the most appropriate words to the frequency, which feels like an energy and an emotion, and trying to get the correct or most appropriate, that's better, the most appropriate English words to match the sentiment that I'm feeling. Sometimes I'm not able to, and I'll always let you know when I'm not able to grasp it, but in this case I was. So you thought you were complete? It's like with this task. And it kind of ties into what we were just talking about with lessons learned. So we can think about it a little bit like, I'm laughing because I'm hearing them say nails on a chalkboard. A little bit like, yeah, nails on a chalkboard. But really what they're laughing at that because it sounds like nails on a chalkboard to us. But what's actually happening is that the guides or a team or universe, whatever, is presenting lessons to us again to see whether we actually have learned them. So, for example, if you know that you don't do well when hanging around a certain person, guess what? They're going to pop back up. You learned this lesson, and you probably even said, I'm never doing that again. And then they're going to pop back up. And then let's see, have you learned the lesson, or are you back in the saddle again? And it's interesting because I'm getting a bit of a reference to the month of April. So for some of you, maybe somebody is coming back into your life. Doesn't have to be romantic at all, by the way, but somebody or some situation is resurfacing, possibly stemming from the month of April. And I'm getting, and someone saying, you didn't learn your lesson. So this is what's happening. I can't remember, maybe it was the last moon reading that I put out. I can't quite recall, but you can find that in the Transit Moon Readings playlist, but on YouTube. Just look for the last one that I put out before this. But I believe it might have been that, but they talked about things coming back around again from the month of May, that was. So just be mindful of what's in your face again. I'm getting the word cake, so maybe for somebody that means something. It doesn't even have to be about food, so to speak. Well, we so I mean we know cake also has another meaning, but I mean just like I don't know if that's what they were referring to, but it just suddenly dawned on me. But either way, just go with it. We're just going with it. We're running with it. All right, so moving on. So the question is, and I'm getting about 3 things. So it's not even like you're getting hit left, right, up, center, all of this by returning lessons. No, it's just like we're going to throw 3 things at them. Let's see Have they learned a lesson? Now, always remember, all you're doing, I guess, is sensing the electrical charge that you have in relation to something. If something is very electrically charging to you, in other words, it's very triggering. We're talking in terms of electricity and charge, because we're all energy. Everything is energy, even these cute little cards. And so when you have an electrical charge or a chemical reaction, so this electrochemical reaction of some sort with somebody else or with a situation, you will know, because you will feel compelled to run towards it or compelled to run away from it, right? So when you hate something, hello, past life much? Okay, as much as you may still want to disavow your, involvement with those kinds of activities because it sends you so much this lifetime, right? Or if you just love something, whether it's good for you or not good for you, you're just so loving it, that shows it's a clear-cut case that there is an electrical charge. So when you are truly healed from something, it's almost like it doesn't register on you anymore. And I think I might have used this example before, but let's say, for example, God bless your buttons, that you tripped and fell, well, we'll just say in another lifetime, could be this one, but in another lifetime, and you hit your head on a doorknob, and it was so traumatic for you. You had to go to the hospital, you had to get some stitches, maybe it was painful, all sorts of stuff. And from then on, now you're just walking gingerly around the place, and flash forward to this lifetime, and you don't know why, but I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but you collect doorknobs. I'm just laughing. We're laughing, but they're saying that's how it works. That's how it works. Some of your collections, is really just your brain being like, oh, this again, right? Or what we would be less laughing at is when we have phobias of doorknobs, or whether we're just so weird around doorknobs, or it could even be so subtle that every time you walk into a room, you look at the doorknob. Now you walk in and out. You may not realize in the moment that you're doing that. If we actually took there's actually technology out there, if you wire yourself up, that can, you can see it on YouTube. They do these kinds of things. They can show where you're looking. So so they sometimes put people's bodies on the computer screen to see where on the body you look. It's crazy, right? But anyway, so if you really did something like that, you'd be surprised at all of the places that your eyes look. And we wouldn't even register, oh my God, I looked at the wheel under my portable radiator for a second there, and I didn't notice that, because we're just gathering information. We're going all sorts of places, and maybe this is left for future generations when we can actually do this research. But it would be, or probably now, actually it can probably be done now without the tech, but with your friendly local readers. But your reader will be like, oh yeah, you're looking at that because, well, actually this lifetime's popping up, or there's some trauma here, I'm seeing it in an energetic field, right? So we may not know all of these things, but the point is that you may be still moving on trauma. So some unfortunate incident with a doorknob in another lifetime is still kind of bothering you in this lifetime, and it's important to really heal that. And so what's happening at this time is some things are coming up for you to kind of see whether you've moved past it or not. In the example with the doorknob, you will know that on some level, you will, if you were to really heal that trauma, you're no longer paying any special attention to doorknobs. Your desire to collect them may fall away. You may not even look at a doorknob when you walk in, just like the rest of us. You just open the door with your foot, or who does that? But you know what I mean? There's no chemical exchange there. There's no electrochemical thing that pulls you to it or makes you feel a certain way. And so the point is, we're looking for neutral charge. Neutral charge is the best way to say to notice something doesn't mean anything to you. I'll give you one last example. Remember how you were all caught up and all ready to jump off a building over that ex of yours? And then eventually you grew up, or you moved away, and things are done, and you've met other people, you probably even gotten married. Now you're like, who? Alfred, who? Sorry if there's an Alfred in someone's past here. I'm just using that name. Alfred. Oh my God, I remember, and you may even laugh. I remember I was so in love with that person. I don't even like, wow, that seems like such a long time ago. And right, you don't even think about him anymore. And you want to know what's really neutral? Remember that one kid in your journalism class in high school that like sat 2 rows behind you, and you may have had like econ class with, and you never really brushed. This guy means nothing to you. You're struggling to remember their name, their face. We have to pull your yearbook because there's no charge, there's no nothing. You don't have any significant karma with that person. And so that's an example of for reals neutrality. So anyway, so keep an eye out for things resurfacing. Oh my God, look at the next card is 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords. Yeah, deception, right? So look for things that don't make sense. Now, when I say don't make sense, I don't mean to look at your friend and be like, you make no sense. I mean to look at yourself. Look at what you're doing. Think about it. Oh, this person or this situation's coming back around again. And I remember the last time when I was in treatment because I was hanging out with this person, 11 minutes, 11 seconds. Interesting place for alignment to come through. I almost said assignment. So somebody, spirit speaking to you there. But, and then this person blows into town, or you find their keychain or something weird, because it's still in your house or for whatever reason, and come to feelings again. The question is, have you learned a lesson? When we learned a lesson, we can, of course, logically understand why something is no longer good for us, why it's unsustainable, why it's toxic, why whatever, or why we deserve better. But we still have to also take a look at whether we are being pulled towards it. And also, just because you're being pulled towards it, it doesn't end there. The question is, what do you do with that pulling? Do you let it go? Do you move on? Do you seek assistance? Spirit is not looking for perfection. They're looking for progress. Maybe the last time this happened, you were really lost, right? And they had to send in reinforcements. Speaking of, here's the equilibrium or the temperance card. I heard deck, but then it sounded like death when I said that. But the temperance card, sometimes spirit comes in and they're like, whoosh, right? They do the cutting. That rainbow is all of a sudden looking like whoosh, like a little, I forgot what that's called, but a little thing, a dough cutter, right? The cute ones that are around it. But anyway, yeah. So you may have been rescued from something in your past. And now the question is, have you grown? Are you able to assist yourself a little bit more? We're not looking for perfection again. Are you able to assist yourself a little bit more this time? And I'm getting narcissistic abuse coming in here. And I don't want to say that in the sense like, oh my gosh, everyone's a narcissist. You know, a lot of people are using these terms, but these terms are defined specifically in the DSM, and so we have to be mindful when we use those terms, psychological terms. But I'm also channeling the field, your collective energy. So whatever the definition is, this is the term that is fitting the situation. So watch for people who are coming back, who are the guides are saying specifically who are proclaiming themselves to be healed. Wow, I just heard like several seats being taken. You know, when someone takes a seat and it's like the chair, you can hear it like scrape across the floor a bit. Yeah, several seats being taken because I feel like there are some of you who are dealing with people who are coming with this energy. You need to curb them quick. And I mean real curb very quickly. Also, let's say that if you are the one who is coming with that kind of energy, and doesn't have to be a narcissistic thing. It could be, obviously, because you wouldn't be watching this, but it could be about you saying, well, I'm healed, I can do this again, and I can be around this person again, and I just want to be like, stop it. Stop it. Because I'm just getting that, what's the rush? What's the rush to prove that you can do that you can expose yourself to toxic energies that used to really stymie you? For some of you, that may be just your way of getting your way. Sometimes we talk ourselves into doing certain things. I'm laughing because it's hitting home a bit. It's hitting home. But my point is, if we're keeping it all the way 100, sometimes it's best to stay out of it altogether, because now the addiction's talking, and you're like, I can do it. I can play The Sims again, and I won't, waste hours and blah blah blah. I mean, just that's an oddly specific, example, and whatever. It's neither here nor there. But Spirit is saying, we've got you, and I love this energy here, because at this time they're like, we won't throw you a bone without a parachute, without a lifesaver, because I'm seeing this rebirth card, and it's giving me not letting the baby be thrown out with the bathwater vibes. So in a sense, if we zoom out of these details a bit, it's feeling very much like assessment time. I usually tell you guys when I get the vibe like we're being assessed, and assessments are basically our soul's way, our spirit team's way, our higher self's way, and our way for those of us who are really into our personal healing and really do try to self-reflect and see progress. It's our way of assessing how we have grown in relation to the way that we used to be when it comes to a certain situation. All right. And so right now, like I said, the guides are I'm getting about 3 things out, at most 6, but that's not going to be for everybody, but 3 things out at a time to see, maybe in different areas of your life, to see how you do with that. And I'm laughing because, oh my God. All right, well, we're not out here grading ourselves. We're not grading ourselves, but that's what we're looking for. But the beautiful thing about it this time is that you're not going to have the fall that you think you're going to have. So let's all together do a collective phew. That was me wiping all of our brows. Phew. Because maybe the last time you got caught up in something, whether it's like too much gameplay with video games, who knows, whatever, or too much food that you shouldn't be eating, or whether for some of you you're engaging in substance abuse, or let's throw it out there, a man or a woman for some of you, or even I'm getting sucked back into family dynamics via partnerships, because our partnerships very often reflect the dynamics that we share in the home space, actually always, but anyway, sometimes it doesn't matter who you're reliving those family dynamics with, it's a reliving. So you don't want to get sucked back into the toxic parts of that. So the guides are saying, maybe in the last time you had to deal with these things, you actually suffered a fall. And for someone here, I'm really, really getting this fall was in a past lifetime. It feels very Native American, and I feel the knees may have been affected in some way. So that's for somebody here. You may know that it's about you, and you may be like, oh, that's me. And that's fine if you don't, but I'm getting that this is going across the lifetime. So either way, in that whenever this was, you may have really struggled and struck out and really caused some devastation. And yes, it's also being pointed out that it could also be this lifetime where you had these things earlier on in your life, and you may have really messed things up for yourself and maybe for other people. But the beautiful thing about it is that now you're getting a chance to kind of have that field test again, and not fall, because it's like, oh, we gotcha, we're just checking. You were never going, in the past, you're this cute baby, you would have gone right down that water into that sun and burned up. That incinerator in the sky, right? But just kidding. But in this time, you're not. So it's just really, really, I say really, for assessment purposes, okay? The idea is for you to come out stronger. Spirit is saying this is going to cause you to transmute. Imagine if these 2 cards were actually a little bit of a before and after thing going on. See, and it's like, whoa, these look different, but also similar. The idea is that here you've got 2 cups, here you come out with 1, with something in it. So making a decision somewhere along the way, right? Also, I'm seeing here not worrying so much about the path that you're taking, And maybe part of that is because you have surrendered. Maybe it's because you've made a decision, right? That kind of detail is going to be really dependent upon who you are, or maybe because you got sucked up in something and you really didn't have a choice because the pull was too strong, and that's a dead ringer that you really do need to do more work on yourself, right? So that's just an example. I'm also seeing here this cute little rainbow here has become this stream here. So that could be reminiscent of something else for whoever you are, really, because I don't want to go too much deeper here, because then I'll start to see things in this dynamic that are going into the realm of a personal reading, and I want to keep it general. But the point is, once you have that assessment, once you go through the experience again, now it's time to really take a look at what it is that you've done differently, what it is that you've done the same, and what could you have done differently. So it's really information gathering. Let's go ahead and line these up. 1, 2, and the beautiful thing about this, look at this. This looks like, oh, it's off camera. It looks like a little bit of your guides for a second, like a tribunal or something. Like your guides, especially this guy, lining up, right? Because I'm getting like missed opportunities, they said, will not be missed. So here we see a rainbow here. So maybe you missed a rainbow. Maybe you didn't make the highest choice this time around. Who knows? Again, that's for the realm of a personal reading. But again, there's no loss. So maybe in the past you may have made this decision, or a wrong decision, or a hurtful decision towards you, because there's no right or wrong. There just is information gathering, right? So you may have made a decision that was detrimental to your health and well-being in the past, and you may have lost a lot of money, for example. In this case, if you make the same decision or something similar, but it's still detrimental to you, you may have the perception of, oh no, I'm going to lose everything again, or I'm going to lose something. But Spirit is saying, no, it's actually going to be returned to you. Think of it like a rebate. We all love and hate a rebate. Like, dude, why do I have to go home and then mail you something? Like, what am I doing? Can I just get my discount up front? Like, what are we doing? I know you're hoping that I won't mail it in so you get to make money off of me, but I'm going to mail it, right? So it's one of those things. You still get your money back. And so I'm getting that it's just a trial run, a test run to see. And so they're repeating, 22 minutes and 22 seconds. There will be no losses here. Phew, and together, phew, right? Now here's the judge. The judge, the person doing the assessment, is watching you. And imagine, it's so funny because, like I said, imagine in the past you would have like floated right down if you'd made whatever mistake. In fact, look at these people. I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, the guides in the sky, right? But here's one sitting right there in front of that sun. Remember I said you'll go float all the way down there and get burnt up. Imagine he's waiting down there. And he's waiting to see if if you would have, you think that you're going to probably end right down there and get in trouble and blah, blah, blah. Again, no. And then here, this is our lovely, it says High Priestess, but the energy here, this is another one of your guides actively seasoning the pot or instructing the field, so to speak, helping to program the field based on the feedback that they get from you. Now, as an instructor, for like me, I'm an instructor, right? I mean, I'm not in a classroom at this point, but when I was in a classroom, if students are, and this is something a coworker said to me once, and I thought it was brilliant. If students are talking in their native language, I taught international students all the time during the classroom, and the class is supposed to be an immersion classroom, then that's an indication that, hey, maybe you need more practice. Maybe you need more instruction. Maybe you need, more of something, because right now you're not hitting the goal. And the goal is to be in English only in this particular classroom, and you're not hitting it. So we're going to have to change the frequencies. We're going to have to introduce something to assist you. And that's what I'm getting here. So I hate to say this, because as a human being, I'm like, dude, this is dread. This looks like it's gonna be annoying to experience. But I have to even say it from a macroscopic point. It's a win-win situation. How, Jay? How? Because you get to experience something coming back again. You get to make any mistakes you make, or not make any mistakes, right? And you don't lose anything at all. Your guides love you still the same, and they're going to go ahead and season your energetic field and your soul curriculum in order to help you get the most out of the experience that you need. And boom, there we have the Wheel of Fortune. Now it's interesting the way that this is looking. This is looking, it's not looking like a final test. No, it's looking like, and it's just not, it's not, again, there's no loss here. So it's not correct to say that, they're readying you to pass through or shift through some portal or something. That's not the case. It's purely for assessment's sake. But they're saying what is also good about it is that there will be a moment coming up at some point, and I'm not saying it's the August 8th portal, right? I'm not saying that at all, but that's the next kind of big portal day that I'm thinking of. But that's just my conscious mind. But there is going to be something coming up. They're saying in the month of March. So I'm not sure what's happening astrologically in the month of March or what's going to be going down at that time. But in the month of, not even around, in the month of March, obviously 2024, unless you're watching it later at a later time and this vibes for you, maybe another March it is. But they would like you to be ready for something, is what they're saying. So whatever you're practicing now, it's for a good reason. It's for a good reason. So please don't just be like, I'm not going to lose anything. Okay, well, whatever. No, it's for a good reason. Oh, look at the sun card. Cute. Look at that. Oh, look at that. It's almost like you. I did it, right? Look at your guide. That's what they'd like you to do. They'd like to see the alignment and see the little boop, the little flame on top of your head, the illumination corresponding with the illumination here. I don't know if you can see that kind of whatever, but it feels like illumination. Boink, boink. And so the idea is, can we get you into alignment? Can we meet you where you are in your experience and get you into alignment? Wow. Temporary rest. It's interesting. Oh, followed, by the weight card. See? There, okay. So, hold on. And they're saying 7 months. So 7 months, this is the 7th month, by the way, July. It gives me a vibe like people are getting into positions. So that makes a lot of sense. There's a major waiting period right now. I don't know if you guys can feel that. Maybe in your life there it seems to be that things are going by quickly, or there's deconstruction, and there is deconstruction for a lot of people. But there is also a waiting period, and I'm talking about divine timing in this case, because you see that there are things being orchestrated. Things are being put into position, as we heard earlier. It almost feels, and this gives me a little bit of a romantic vibe, a little bit of a hope vibe, to be honest. It feels as though there's this grand board. I don't want to say chess board or checkered board, but checkers board, but like a strategy board, something like this, and all of the souls are getting into position. I almost said permission, so that must mean it could be a nod to permissions, right, coming in. But when I say that, it feels like people are taking their places because we're about to start like a whole new setup, almost is what I'm getting. And this makes perfect sense because there are things that are ending right now, which also explains the Wheel of Fortune, and new phases starting right now, which also explains the rebirth card. Did I see a rebirth card down here? That's the energy on this board right here. So we're closing out some major cycles, and we do have a portal day coming up. We just got out of a portal day as well on the 7th. I do want to say also that I felt a little bit of a romantic vibe, specifically because it felt like here you are being asked to wait while spirit, divine timing, people arrive. Like let's say if you're, I know among the people arriving, waiting to take their place, in your life, so to speak, or within the realm of your possibility and probability, so that your paths cross. 29 minutes 29 seconds. See, 11:11. Somebody feels very romantic, feels like an old soulmate, a soulmate from the past. That's what it kind of felt like. It felt a little bit romantic to me, and so that's why I felt that. I don't know who that's for, but either way, think of it like cycles are closing out and cycles are beginning. And let's say that you don't know, but you're going to get a new job or move somewhere within the next few months, right? And let's say that in March, I'm just saying, let's say that in March, like the guide said, there's something big coming up in March and they want you to be ready for it. And so right now you're just finishing up some stuff. Let's say that in March, that's when you start to meet these new soul contracts that are now getting into position. Now, we're talking energetic dynamics, but how that may manifest, for example, just to show you the dynamics and how they manifest, it could be right now that you're on your way out from a certain home or job or location or something, and the person that you're going to start dating is going to be in your new building or at the new job where you're going to be. But right now, neither of you is at that new job or new location, because that person is coming from out of state and is wrapping up their life. So you see, again, this is this idea of moving into position. Why? To start a whole new cycle. And my heart swells with joy to say this. It makes me so happy to say what I'm about to say. But I just feel that there is so much divine protection right now, because I'm seeing this art. That's you, by the way, and the temporary timeout card. And I'm seeing this energy cell around you, just protecting you. And this makes total sense, because as I said, the guides have you working on some stuff, but there is no loss. As much as you think you're going to have a loss, it's really just not vibing down the road as being a loss. It's vibing as, hey, while you're in this waiting period and you're closing things out, let's see if you've learned your lesson. And in the meantime, your new friends or your new landlord or your new boss and your new husband or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever is moving on to the scene. What scene? The scene in your soul's curriculum where you guys come into being, okay? That's my point, and I'm so sorry that took forever to explain. Look at this Chariot card. Yes, this is randomly there. Not random. And it's funny because I'm hearing her say, "Want to make some magic?" Heck yeah! So let's see what magic is going to unfold for us. How exciting. I love magic. Ugh. I wish I'd studied magic when I was younger. Can you imagine? Let's not. Sleight of hand. I am so not. I'd be like, no sleight of hand over here. But it would be fun. Look at me struggling with the shuffling, right? Oh, what's this? She's like, is this your card? That is your card. Yes, this is you. This is all of us. We're supposed to be at rest, right? Anyway, at least I'm self-entertained. That's what I tell myself. So let's see what magic is coming up for us. And this is literally the card representing us, by the way. So, was it magic? Was it not? Who knows? Spirit knows what's up. It's like that conundrum with the oracle, remember? Ooh, the oracle, when she's like, oh, hey, don't worry about those flowers. And he's like, what flowers? And he turns and hits it. Those flowers. Oh, what's this? The Two of Cups. Okay. It's interesting because the minute I dropped this card, I was like, mother issues. I felt this card was like mother issues, just screamed right at me. And then what's the next card? The grief card. So we see two energies here, all right, on either side, Two of Cups. And what this is telling me is that there is a need to put something to rest. there's going to be a transfer of energy going on. And so much so that I actually have to move over to the right here because the energy moves. So there's going to be a transfer of energy where, don't look at the right side yet. This is you. We see this at rest card right now. We're going through the ending of something. There's a lot of grief on the board. We've got mother issues. We've got stuff going on. All of this stuff is happening, right? But what's going to happen is you're going to transform yourself. It's moving from one realm to the next. This is what's coming up for us. And we're in the stage right now that's over here. But eventually they're like, you can come back. I was like, okay. Right? And they actually said crawl back. I was like, crawl. Walk slowly, get on all fours. Who knows? But see this? This is where you're going. And as soon as you move past this old energy, look what's coming up next. We've got the Chariot card, which is full speed ahead, basically. Then we've got the Victory card, 6 of Wands, a little bit out here. So I'm getting about 6 months after. 6 months after what? This transition or what? I don't know. And guess what? We've got the 9 of Cups. I know that looks like somebody's head on a platter, and that's because it is. It is somebody's head on a platter. But this is actually a very, very fortunate card. The 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment. So letting go of your old baggage is very important. Okay? 10 of Swords, literally letting go of your stuff. But I do have to say that the 10 of Swords is about having a cycle change that is particularly painful, right? So just know that whatever you're going through right now, you're going to be okay. And in fact, the moment of impact, so to speak, I'm going to define that. The moment of impact is going to be the moment that you make that transformation, that transition. And for sometimes, sometimes when we make these changes energetically, they come with a loud bang, right? Something may drop in the environment. You're like, whoa. Just as you hung up the phone for the last time on your ex and you never spoke to them again for the rest of your life. And you knew in that moment it was significant, right? Things like that. Sometimes they come with a bang. Sometimes major transitions come with a major tower moment, a major fall. Maybe somebody hurts you, maybe you get sick, maybe something, right? I'm not saying this is going to be your reality or anyone's reality here, but I'm just showing you that sometimes endings come cataclysmically. A really, really not popular, but I guess it is popular, but a really, really important one of these is, for example, when people are born, and that's popular. Everyone's doing it. But anytime you get people's opinions about that, people who've had near-death experiences or through hypnotherapy have been able to regress back to that moment of birth, they always talk about it being the most traumatic point for them. Why? Because imagine being in a place of all love and not having bills or any other kinds of concerns that literally plague us on this planet, and then being popped into some very dense, this is a very dense energetic space, very dense energy field. It's probably cold, the lights are bright or dim, moms, who's out here, right? So it's very traumatizing for a soul when they're born. That's an example of a cataclysmic ending and beginning. Baptism by fire, okay? And so what I'm seeing here is that chances are you may have a little bit of lingering doubt as you make this transition. But I also feel, sorry, I'm feeling into it. That's why I'm speaking so slowly. I also feel like it's not going to be the slap in the face that you may think it's going to be. For example, let's say that your specific transition is the ending of a relationship. This is just an example. And you can see the writing on the wall right now. You're going through pre-breakup. It's rough. Maybe you have all these fears about that moment when it's time to go and blah, blah, blah. But what if it just happens and it's peaceful and Yes, of course it's sad. Yes, this and that. But you go to pick up your stuff at the person's apartment. They've arranged for somebody else to be there to give you, the key to let you in. No fuss. It's almost like the best way that it could have ended. Because we see, look at where all the fire is. It's back there. It's just about being done. But it's still a traumatizing event in a sense, because something's ended. If you have to leave a job, maybe you're thinking it's going to be this major thing, and now you're going to be out of work and you need unemployment, you're going to have no money, and maybe that's not it. Maybe you get something and then you're able to make that transition into the next position, but it's a little bit sad because of what you came to, the relationships you came to have at the job and what it meant to you, right? So long story short, I am seeing that the moment of transition, whether that's in March or whenever this is going to just happen. It may be swift, it may not be, but I'm seeing that after that, then really look at all the cards. The cards are looking very good. I am noticing a little bit of space here. So this feels like some time. So it could be 6 months, could be a few months. I'm feeling years. No, I don't think so. Before you really start to feel it. And the guides are saying there's been a breach. So maybe that's for somebody there. So that's for someone somewhere. Also, I do want to point out that I just uploaded... Wait, no, I didn't upload it. Hold on, let me see. I just recorded... Yes, the Libra reading. And remember, these astro real readings, I put like an astro sign on there, but it's for anybody really. It says the deconstruction of this around October is oh so needed. Thank Spirit later, right? And the Virgo one, which I have just uploaded, says mind your mood as you fall out of alignment with this structural field. So again, things are wrapping up here in some area of your life, and it's coming after and of course it's coming along with assessments, which is great. But please know that 41 minutes, 41 seconds, you're just going through something that obviously is going to feel conflicting. It may feel stressful with that 5-5, 41. But eventually it's going to be in your best interests. So I'm definitely feeling about next year, like March and stuff, things are going to really start looking up. Now, let's be honest, energetically speaking, things start looking up the minute the decision is made on some energetic level, like, oh, it's time to go. Oh, boop. And now months of it unfolding, right? So it doesn't feel good, but immediately from Spirit's perspective, it is good because now you're in the direction, you're oriented. Look at it pointing. You're oriented towards the direction that you're supposed to be going now to suit you. It's just that, we've been so intrinsically connected with the places we work, the people we are loving, the social circles, all sorts of stuff, that it takes time to unravel these physical situations. But energetically, it's already kind of transitioning. All right, so that's why we can already see these cards are pretty awesome on the deck, but also at the same time talk about it occurring early next year. But right now, kind of tailoring that out. So as I'm closing this up, I'm getting the image of a clown. That's for somebody here. Somebody is like, them just showing me with you face makeup that maybe for some reason to kind of get your attention. But I think doing the best that we can right now to make light of what's going on with our situations is important, but at the same time, it's very important to take this seriously, because for some of you, this transition may be big, like moving a whole house, maybe changing the course of a whole generation through the choices that you're making. These are major changes. I just want to let you know. I hope that that's coming through for you. This is not just a small one this time. It's major. But they're saying, of course, striking that balance when someone in particular may be making too light of it and not taking it as seriously is what they're saying. But don't worry about it. Nothing's lost, right? The guides are here to guide us. This is kind of just like a news bulletin when we do these moon energy check-ins. It's a collective energy bulletin check-in. But please know that your spirit team is on the ground with you, working wherever you are. Because I'm sensing that some of you may have some big disturbances in your field, or disruptions rather in the field as a result of this transition that's going on. So you may need to talk with partners, you may need to consult with lawyers, or just, depending on what it is for you. For someone, it's job related. For someone else, they're going to have a kid. Another person, it's about a marriage, right? So really, it's who knows. But I can assure you, this is a move in the right direction. When I say right, remember, there's no such thing as right or wrong. What I'm trying to say is it is in your highest good in that moment to take that direction. And that's what we're looking for. That's why we always have to course correct. But this is pretty normal. This is not because we've been doing anything wrong. We are hitting a checkpoint in our life, and it's just literally shuffling like a kaleidoscope. When the wheel turns, as the world turns, as the kaleidoscope turns, so do the cute little jewels reposition themselves. And that's you. You are a cute little jewel. So before we go, let's draw 3 cards and see what's up. Any other messages that you guys would like to tell us at this time? Ding. Wow. There we are again. Thank you, guys. Yeah, they've been sending out the message. They've been sending out this message already for quite a few of us. Oh boy, now we're gonna get lectured. Look at this. They've been sending out this message. Look, she's literally, I just thought I saw her. Oh my gosh, stop. Okay. I can take all 3 of these. Literally the Ace of Swords, Queen of Swords, and right underneath there, the 6 of Swords. They are like, we've been sending out this message to you that you need to get going. There's something that you need to get clear on. You need to start up, start your own company or whatever it is, change jobs, find a new partner, become single, whatever it is, simplify your life, somebody there. And look at this, Page of Shields, which is like Page of Pentacles, but she always gives me vibes like she's this little page, but she's got this big thing that she's got. But maybe you've got what you need, but maybe what you're struggling to do is to believe in yourself, to believe that you can actually accomplish what it is that your guides want you to do, or what your higher self wants you to do. And sometimes we're looking at it the wrong way. Like, look at how she's got this. It almost looks like she's like, how do I fit this circle, this huge circle, into this little triangle? What if that's not the task? What if the task is, hey, you've got this, now it's time to get up, head through those woods and meet, because that's where you are, over here. And you don't realize it, but you're here. Head through those woods and meet the person on the other side over there. And this person is waiting here to kind of give you what you need, whether it's the new job, the new relationship, the new location, whatever. But you're in here still trying to put a round, round disc into a triangular shaped thing. That's not the task you should be doing. You should be getting up and going and moving forward. So this is what Spirit is trying to say. And they've been saying this for a while. I do want to point out to you that we literally have the ace, 2 aces on the board. And we've got the Queen of Swords with the ace, the sword, Ace of Swords. Also saying, hey, it's time to get going. You've got your guide saying, hey, it's time to get going on the 6 of Swords. Let's move forward. And here you are in a little bit of a temporary rest. Now, you may be like, but the guides told me to wait. But actually, no, they're saying that right now is a moment of reflection. It's contemplation. And that makes sense because we're going through these lessons, right? But look as things are closing up. But look at what's kind of stopping you, or kind of in your field, and maybe you're not aware of, and this is what we're working through. The 4 of Cups. This is the I don't wanna card, pretty much. It's when Spirit is handing you an opportunity. They're handing you something and you're saying, I don't want to. So in a sense, we've got all. Do we? Hold on, 1, 2, 3. We've got all the suits on here. We've got the Ace of Swords being held by a queen. We've got the Ace of Wands being held by the divine hand. We've got the Ace of Pentacles being held by a page, and we've got the Ace of Cups being held by a divine hand coming out to show you, to make you an offer. And it's almost like I'm getting that you're not going to get to see the Ace of Cups. You're not going to get to see what you're getting. You're not going to get to see the new husband, the new wife, the new job, the new location, the new whatever. You're not going to get to see that yet until you get up and get out of what it is that you are supposed to be getting out of. Until you do what Spirit has said, which is to move forward. It's like land ho, right? And when you finally move your body, just kidding, no, when you finally move the energies, the blockages to your sight, then look at this alignment. Things start lining up. Now you can see what you're supposed to be moving towards. So this is telling me that maybe a lot of us have been going through a lot of grief, a lot of stuff right now. Think of it as like your guide saying, okay, it's time to move, and they give you all these cute little suitcases for you to put your stuff in, but instead of approaching it systematically, you've just opened all your suitcases, all 8 of them. I don't know why they're 8, all 8 of your suitcases, and they're strewn around a room, and you've taken out all their clothes, and you've taken everything out, and nothing's being folded, nothing's being organized. It's kind of like, hey, what are you doing? We need to get organized so that you can fill the suitcases with what you need, take the suitcases downstairs, and move. That's the energy here. That was a lot, but that's okay. Thank you, God. We can do it. I just saw some consternation in your face here, like, oh. So at this time during reflection time, it's a perfect time for surrendering to Spirit, asking your higher self, your spirit team, help me. You could say it like that with a little tremble. You can start thinking and reflecting upon what it is that you're doing, who's popping back into your life, what is their value for you, are they going to waste your time, are you going to allow them to waste your time? No one can waste your time unless you allow them to. Always remember that. And I know that's hard to take, but instead of thinking, oh, well, I couldn't resist it, this person was just so overpowering, that may well be the case, but actually they're only able to overpower you because of something going on in your belief system. There's something in your belief system buried within your field that allows these things to even manifest. And so when we get ourselves in these kinds of situations, whatever they are, it's always an invitation to inquiry, observing what the dynamic is outside and who's doing what, how you're responding, blah, 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 and then doing that deep dive to really understand what's going on here. Bring your screwdriver so you can start making adjustments in your field. That's what this is about. And when you do, you'd be surprised by how these blockages just move themselves. The person who just would not leave, all of a sudden is upset with you and they storm out. Good riddance, bye. Well, they took themselves out. Now I don't have to, put them out during trash day. I'm not calling anyone trash, but, in that example, we know what's up. And that's an example there. So hope springs eternal, but it's time to put your feet on the ground. And I do really see your feet are really blessed right now, but you do have to shake off the old vibes is what I'm getting. So this is why the guides keep talking about washing our feet, making sure that we are passing energy through the energetic field so that we can, and you can just envision it, so that we can do the energetic clearings. And of course, if you ever need assistance, you know exactly where we are. We meaning me and my spirit team. And yes, we do take Klarna payments. If you're concerned about payments, it's very easy. In fact, it sounds kind of bad, but whenever I go shopping, which is very rare, online, I literally look up like latte machine, Klarna, to see, let's just take me to the deals. That's all I want. Anyway, but you can do that, or you can just hit those Epsom salt baths. There's so many things you can do for free. Okay, but all right, if you haven't, well, I haven't posted this yet. I'm going to post this before I post the Libra reading. But once the Libra reading is posted, go ahead and take a look at the Libra reading because the vibes are very similar. It's taught because obviously we're reading for the same kind of collective and the timing is overlapping. So please go ahead and check that one out. It's about 15 minutes and the guides definitely talk about this transition that's happening again. Although in this reading, they definitely went into more in-depth detail. So, of details, in-depth details. Okay, I'm done. When I start tripping over my words, you know it's a wrap. All right, if you'd like to work personally with me, you know exactly where to find me. God bless me. God bless me. Oh my God, I was going to say God bless you, and I heard me. Thanks, guys. They're so sweet. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway. So happy. Yay. All right. God bless you guys, and God bless me. And let's just enjoy the rest of the day and keep an eye out for the upcoming Astro Reels as well. Mwah. Bye.